Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are here and we are live. The WSSEA coming hot at ya. I'm FBI Tugboat. With me, back in the saddle again, is Hot Sauce. Hot Sauce, how the heck you feeling?
Hey, feeling great. Just glad to be back here for the WSSEA spring season, of course, just into week 2. And we did get to see one of these teams last week, Selah Vikings, where unfortunately did suffer a loss. We'll be taking on Ridgefield Sputters today, who are 1-0, and they didn't come off of a hot 3-0 win. Now, these two teams have met in the preseason, though. I know we got to talk a little bit before we got in here tonight, Tugboat.
Yes, we did, right? So, Selah Vikings coming hot off that was the loss to Tenino last week, right? Got the opportunity to cover that one. And then the Ridgefield Sputters, a little bit of a different story, right? 3-0 over Ephrata. However, there's a little preseason history between these two teams, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, it was Selah Vikings that actually 3-0'd Ridgefield Sputters in that preseason back near the end of February. So I think it's a really good testament here for both of these teams. For Selah, they get to come out, look for their first win on the season. For Ridgefield, they've already got one win. It's a testament for them to see how much they've improved since that preseason game.
Yes, and it's important to remember, right? Every match matters here in the WSSCA. All of these will determine postseason placing, seedings, everything else like that. We're not going to get super far into that, given that we're just in week 2. Before we hop into the action, though, Hot Sauce, I want to talk about some of the individuals, some of the organizations that make competitions just like this one possible. First and foremost, our production staff, right? Connie, Taylor, Jaden, appreciate all of y'all producing away, observing away, making our jobs as casters that much easier. As I always say, Hot Sauce and I are just two mustachioed, beautifully mustachioed men, just screaming about esports in our rooms without our production staff, right? This is what literally brings it to life to all of you. We're very much appreciative of them. Organization that makes this possible. I want to give a shout out to ZOTAC here for powering today's streams. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, which of course helps showcase a lot of the scholastic talent in Washington State, in scholastic esports. Let's show our appreciation for ZOTAC Gaming by giving them a shout out over there on social medias. If you so choose, make sure you join their community on Discord, and don't forget to use the hashtag Powered by ZOTAC, spelled just like it is, ZOTAC, with that spelled right there below Hot Sauce as well. Or you can also use hashtag ZOTAC USA when you post, if you so choose. Hot Sauce, talk about this game a little bit more and kind of break it down a little bit. There's a lot of mental factor that comes to actually getting into the regular season, right? These two teams have already met, and not that long ago. What, it's the 11th, right? We're talking about 2 weeks ago they already met, and that was already decided in a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, Selah was certainly popping off. Even though they've struggled a little bit here in their home opener, now they have a little bit of a chance for redemption. And I mean, we could be looking at two teams, both 1-1 after today. As we had mentioned, Selah was able to win that preseason match in sweeping fashion. So they did have a tough matchup last week against Tenino, but we saw a great series that just didn't happen to go their way. So hopefully they've been able to kind of take a deep breath, reset, and get ready here for week number 2.
Yes, and that is, again, the mental factor that comes into these scholastic competitions, right? Esports, traditional sports, any kind of competition, the most important factors between the ears, behind the eyes. That's what they say, right? So Selah's got to come out and just have that memory of a goldfish, honestly, right? Maybe not always a good thing within scholastic endeavors, right? But not with your learning and whatnot, with your Rocket League, different story. Forget that 3-0 happened. Learn from exactly how it happened, right? I always say, there's winners and there's learners, right? I think we were talking about that last broadcast there, Hot Sauce. Yeah. And especially in a sweep fashion specifically, that can be found across some of these matches. There's a lot to be learned from the team that did not take the W. And for the team that did take the W, it's more just like kind of recreate that. And so it's more of like a reactive situation, right? And generally, I feel like the team that reacts, go forth, and improves their game is going to be the one that's taking an edge into that matchup.
Yeah, it's all about, just making the best of the moment that you can. And so there's a lot to be learned from VOD review. And I kind of expect to see that here from Selah. But it's a toss-up, right? We saw Ridgefield, they 3-0'd in their first week as well. So they have to be feeling confident, even though they've had a tough time in the past here against Selah. So I'm just excited to get out on the pitch. And, I mean, it is a best of 5, but I often still look for game number 2 to really kind of feel out how that series might play out.
Yes, like the first game between two teams, generally in a best of 5, like, yes, there's less wiggle room, hot sauce, than would be in a best of 7, like a more full series, not regarding any best of 9s, best of 11s, any kind of crazy stuff like that, right? So the first game is going to matter, but it's way, way more going to matter for the pace, the tempo of the next at least 2 games in that best of 5 that will, again, kind of like give the other team kind of an idea, is like, how are they playing on the day. Now, you cannot throw the first game by any means, right? You make a mistake in the first game, and then you follow it up with a good performance in the second game, you lose that one. Well, now you're on match point here, hot sauce.
Well, yeah, it's not a situation you want to be in, obviously. You'd like to take that first game. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a little back and forth through those first 2 games, but it does look like we are getting those players loaded onto the pitch here. So we should have the Selah Vikings taking on the Ridgefield Spudders here in just a few moments.
Yes. So taking a look at these 2 squads for the Spudders, we got Snackochu, Big Rat, and Fiztic?
Yeah, that
PHYXTIC. I think you asked about that one as well.
I did. That one's baffling me just a little bit. Hopefully we can get it worked out as time goes on. But definitely some interesting names here from both of these squads. We see right now Selah fighting out of their territory. The ball quickly pressured back in here as well. Crazy Manimal we got to see on screen last week as well. But still tucked into the corner. And for Selah, they need to find a clear here relatively soon.
Yeah, and that was a dangerous backhand across that backboard. High-flying event already. A shot over in just a little bit to the outside. The follow-up is way better as Double Autumn puts a single goal into their efforts here for Selah High School. 40 seconds into this one, and we have a lead.
Yeah, and honestly, this is great for Selah. I mean, they were really down there weathering a storm in their own half. It seemed like Ridgefield was doing a great job of controlling the possession of not only the ball, but the field domination. And then for Selah to 180 it, find that quick goal, it feels like it maybe took some wind out of the sails, but I guess not, because Ridgefield already on another onslaught of an attack here. We'll see if they can continue up being this relentless firing squad.
So a couple of individual situations where Selah has some weaker clears but is not capitalized on. Afterwards, pass comes in. A fantastic read there from Big Rat for the Spudders squad. Crazy Manimal, Raijin? We did this last week, didn't we?
We might have.
Raijin plays?
Raijin, I believe.
That's right, because it's the Japanese god, correct?
Yes.
That's right.
That's
right. See, I remember
your
stuff.
memory's
I remember stuff.
Yes, it is. It's a great memory, and certainly better than mine. But both of these teams here once more fighting it out. Selah does look to find that clear. They're on some quick pressure here as well. A little snack. We'll find the stop and keep this one out of the back of the net. Double Autumn, who's got 1 goal on the day, looking to pressure forward. And now Selah with an opportunity of their own on the counterattack. It will be stopped, but only for a moment here. They're still looking for this clear.
Yeah, just an onslaught of Selah offense. This is going to be a big old clear as we have a laundry list of players trying to join this game. You see this? I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. There are probably 8 different people trying to join right here as Double Autumn puts in their second. 4 shots, a save, and 2 goals there for Double Autumn, putting in a fantastic performance here early for Selah High School.
Yeah, looking for that hat trick maybe is Double Autumn. They need 1 more here, but some great give-and-go plays down there in that Ridgefield territory leading to that second goal. So, I mean, we've seen a lot of great shining moments here from Ridgefield. They've gotten some good pressure. They've gotten some good attempts down on the other net, but they haven't been able to finalize it, and now that one will be unfortunate. Raijin going to find goal number 3 here for Selah.
Fantastic stuff, kind of lurking, waiting in the wings, and ready to pick up this kickoff off the wall. Now, Ridgefield player, like a little bit farther back, like maybe a little bit more, perpendicular, to this ball, but different story. Well, that's an alternate universe we're living in as of right now. Selah, 2 zeros, that insurance goal, 3 zeros, the beginning of something oppressive. That is exactly what Ridgefield needs to bring this one back from the brink. Phi X-Tick. Am I reading that right? Phi X-Tick?
Yeah, I think that's what we're going with.
Gotcha. Phi X-Tick. It's a first in here for Ridgefield, and a little bit of light, at the end of the tunnel. Man.
Yeah, I mean, this is great for Ridgefield. They find this goal just before the halfway point as well, so now it becomes a much more feasible game, and now I feel like the momentum maybe even shifting a bit. We see old Big Rat there showing some of that mechanical prowess to the sky as well, and we'll be met at midfield as Ridgefield will top it over. One defender to beat. The pass play is there, and Big Rat will nail it. Ridgefield beginning to come alive.
Yeah, see, Hot Sauce was counting y'all out, Ridgefield. I could tell. Fantastic
Don't you put that on
stuff
me, Ricky
here from
Bobby.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I mean, just like that, though, right? 0-3 there for Selah. I mean, nobody's wrapping this game up, obviously, as a joker. But, like, given that there was only halftime left, it's kind of like, well, is this just going to be the onslaught here and the beginning of another sweep there for Selah? I think Ridgefield has answered that question, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, they've answered it nicely, and now they've just got to keep that momentum flowing here. But the chip shot, it will hit the crossbar above. I know we talked about they will be adding that new sound here in a few days, so we get to hear the ping off the crossbar, but not quite just yet, as Ridgefield will search to find the clear. They're going to get at least halfway there before Selah does unfortunately find a miss, but will regroup and find a touch of their own.
That's a fantastic shot, and Big Rat is going to tie this one up. 5 shots, 2 goals and assists, and a pair of saves. This is Big Rat's world, Hot Sauce, and we are just temporarily renting space in it.
That's right, Rats on top, baby, as they like to say in some other games that I play. But back to the matter at hand, 1:50 on the clock. The ball stalled out at midfield off of kickoff, but now Ridgefield beginning to apply some more pressure here, and already another early goal. It's Little Snack grabbing a snack himself here, and with that, Ridgefield will take the lead for the first time here in game number 1.
Wow, it has just been a game of spurts, of bursts here, right? For Selah, a quick 3-0 in about 2 minutes. Ridgefield says, hey, I can top that. Let me get a minute 15, and I'll show you what I can do. A fantastic attempt right there. Try to go under, maybe a little bit of psycho action there from Double Autumn, but some longer range shots, kind of unsurprisingly, not going to find too much right there after Ridgefield has done a great job of spreading this field.
Yeah, and it's honestly quite impressive. You know, we see Selah come out 3-0 to start, and you wonder, because they did sweep them in that preseason, if it was going to be something similar. But Ridgefield able to buckle down. They find the answers, and now they find themselves up on top. They're on defense at the moment as Selah looks to pressure the net off the sidewall, looking for a secondary touch. Will be met in the sky, and Ridgefield will send it the other direction.
Nicely done. Met this in the middle. Double Autumn takes it off the wall as well. A bouncing ball, and if that was a little bit more centered, we'd see a tying factor. Not going to happen that quickly or that easily against Ridgefield defense, though. Hot Sauce. That's
yeah, it's tough to do. I mean, both of these teams are littered with talent here across the pitch, and with that, we'll see Crazy Manimal look to scoop this one up, trying to show off some of those aerial mechanical abilities as Double Autumn from a distance. Call it downtown if you will, but they're going to find the equalizer.
fantastic shot. Even Fiextic has to realize that one and acknowledges it in chat. That's about as high as it goes without actually hitting that top bar. Double Autumn maybe want to change that name to Triple Autumn after they get the hat trick here in game number 1.
Yeah, you know, and it's great to see Fiextic there in chat congratulating the opposing team as well. You see the camaraderie here amongst the squads, but a couple demos in front of the net will lead to a late Selah lead here. So just 28 seconds now for Ridgefield to find a way to get the equalizer here and potentially extend it into overtime.
That feels bad, man, there for the Ridgefield squad. The Vikings there had a player there, but just a weird flip without enough momentum to actually make impact upon that ball. It's a wide open net, and Selah takes another lead in game number 1. 9 goals, and I feel like we've seen that many lead changes, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, I mean, it's been wild back and forth here, and I mean, it just goes to show you what great series we have in front of us, and it goes to show that Ridgefield has certainly put in the work since that preseason. They were formerly swept. Now we've got a very close and competitive game. It does look like Selah might be able to lock this one down and take game number 1 as that one hits the edge of the ground there. But, I mean, honestly, I have a feeling that this could go either way at this point. Ridgefield's still playing very nicely despite the fact that they were 3-0'd in that preseason.
Holy moly. looking at a massive, massive difference here in shots attempted, but fantastic job from the Spudders here. Got to give a shout out to some of the coaching staff, right? We talked about our production staff making our jobs possible. None of these teams are here competing, definitely not the level at which they compete without their coaching staffs. Big shout out Coach Nam or Nam, not 100% sure pronunciation there for the Ridgefield Spudders. Big shout out Coach Lane Roberts there for the Selah Vikings. That's Ridgefield cashing in early as Big Rat takes another bite out of Selah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we saw Selah with an early lead in game number 1, but Ridgefield began to step it up in that last half of game 1, and it seems like some of that confidence has spilled over here into game number 2. 6 seconds off the clock. They find that early goal. It'll be up to Selah now to find that response as well, and we'll see if Ridgefield can get an opportunity to maybe extend that lead a bit.
See how that one goes. It seems like these two teams are trading goals almost, it seemed, and trading leads back and forth. It was going out of style here. Selah putting some pressure on early, a weak clear, but coming off the wall to make that a little bit better, and does. Actually gets past 2 right here. An attempted pass play. No! Wow, they say the fullback position is dead. Hot sauce. I beg to differ.
Beg to differ. Coming in out here on the pitch as well, looking to power it on home. Can't find the back of the net yet, but we'll get some revenge with a demo, and then they're going to get in the give and go here as well. I think that was double Autumn with this pass play over to Crazy Manimal off the back of that demo as well. And just some great teamwork here as Selah will find that equalizer within the first 45.
Yeah, if you can draw up plays like this frequently, hey, why not do it? These are both really quickly changing in possession and in like they go to stretch the field quickly, right? Like neither of these teams are really dedicating 3 members entirely into offense, 3 members into defense. They're sitting in that middle position so they can make plays at any given time, and that was just fantastic. That was picture perfect, drawn up right.
Picture perfect plays through the first minute. We'll see if they can continue this success here for either squad as Ridgefield will get the touch they need. Crazy Manimal is waiting patiently though, and we'll scoop that one up. We'll find a demo as well. We see the car parts exploding across the field, and now Manimal through the sky. Unfortunately, out of gas in the tank. Big Rat, going for that 100 in the corner, and Ridgefield will get a clear they desperately need.
There you go, and there's another, big clear attempted there from Crazy Manimal. No, it's into the other corner. It's pretty deep right here. Big Rat going to get a solid handle upon this one. This is going to float down until, who was that? I believe that was Double Autumn having something to say about that one. Little Snackochu. Pass play, Rat is there. Like I said, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Ridgefield spreading the... okay, that was almost an open net, but even so, they force him to the outside. Crazy Manimal comes up to it, a double tap attempted! Not going to land right there. Oh no, as Ridgefield members knock into each other! Oh, brutal, brutal. Selah just gets gifted this one like it is December 25th. They're looking under a Christmas tree.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ridgefield just had a couple members bump into each other, couldn't get turned around. We saw that third defender coming from the corner, almost able to get there in time, but Ridgefield, after having the lead here in game number 2, find themselves down by 1. But in a game like Rocket League, 3 minutes can feel like an eternity, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see a couple more goals, before the end of this one.
100%. 9 total outside of overtime. I think that's a fair assessment that we'll see more than 3 right here. 15 seconds outside of halftime. That may be actually something we should talk about, right? Like, at a certain point, giving up that many goals, like, you're just in, like, a shootout, right? And if it's shown to be that hard to make defensive stances, I don't like putting myself in the position where I have to go forth and score, 5 goals in a regular time game, no overtime, right? To go forth and take a win. How do you feel about it, Hot Sauce?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I guess as long as you're able to find it in transition, but, they often say, the best defense is a good offense, but when you're putting a bunch up on the board, to find a way to answer back time in and time out can be really tough, and I think that's what we saw Ridgefield struggle with a little bit. They had a lot of answers, but at the end of the day, they couldn't find that final one, and now we see Selah almost getting another one here as well. Ridgefield will dodge a bullet and a goal. They'll look for something in transition, but it will be stifled a bit here.
That has been the name of the game for this squad. You said it best. I mean, by hook or by crook, by bouncing ball or by not. I mean, they're at least making this Ridgefield squad really, really have to respect all of their offensive efforts. Almost off the backboard and then corner post and out. Crazy Manimal's not done, though. 100 boost in the corner will set them up for success. And they're going to have to as they get into the defensive stance here. Possession way out to the middle and won by Selah. They're honestly making possession takeaways look a little bit easy here, Hot Sauce, I gotta say. Yep.
Yeah, and again, they capitalize on those moments downfield. Any minimal mistake they're able to capitalize on, and we just see some great give and goes here from Crazy back to Autumn and then to Crazy again, and I think that just kind of bites out some of those defenders a bit early, opens up that goal a little bit for them to find a bit of an easier net, and Selah's just one of those teams that's going to capitalize on it. So they've got themselves a nice 2-point cushion. They're not out of the deep water just yet, though. We'll see if Ridgefield can find a way to bring it back.
Another situation right there where Ridgefield members run into each other. It may seem like super, super minor, and I hope I don't seem like I'm nitpicking here, Hot Sauce, but there's multiple times, so many efforts there from Big Rat. Has a shoot in for this one, but there's so many times Ridgefield members just make tiny, tiny little plays against each other, and that's really going to negate their opportunity to get in position when they need to. Demo coming onto the defense. Nicely done, Big Rat with the clear. Go ahead.
It's just one of those things that kind of boils down to some of that team communication and those basic fundamentals on those rotations. So sometimes those are hard to change within a series, but it's something that you certainly can easier address when you're watching those VOD reviews like we talked about earlier. But hopefully Ridgefield can find a way to take a deep breath and reset. It does appear that Selah might be able to go up 2-0 in this series, but honestly, I feel like that scoreline doesn't do it much justice because these games have been incredibly close.
I've got to agree with you there, and especially on the VOD review point, perhaps it is easy to say from the eye in the sky, as they say, Hot Sauce. 3-1 right now. It does not feel like that. Perhaps feels like a couple minutes of overtime, really, and this should have been decided by 1. It's going to be decided by 3. Score difference all the same. Selah putting a solid foot forward in this series as they take a 2-game lead and quickly put Ridgefield on match point.
Yeah, it's just tough. Ridgefield was looking good to win game number 1, and then at the end, Selah finding those last couple goals in that final minute, and now you have a game that's a little bit more of a blowout. So Selah able to go up to match point here early. They have an opportunity to close things out,
wow.
But even if they don't, they've got 3 opportunities to close it out here. And you take a look at that stat line there, only 3 shots in total for Sputters, whereas 2 members from Selah alone had 4 apiece. So we just need a little bit more action downfield here from Ridgefield.
Yeah, so only 3 shots even attempted here. 2 different players held shotless, and the oddest part about all of this is there's a third player on both of these teams only with double-digit points and specifically 40 even, right? Tell me the last time you said that. Under triple digits and the exact amount right there. So maybe spreading possessions a little bit more here might be the name of the game for not one but both of these teams.
Yeah, and I think sometimes at the Scholastic level, they kind of designate a specific player to be a little bit more of that goalie or across half point. So a lot of times we see maybe not as many touches, but Crazy Manimal says, hey, Caster, shut up. Commentate on this beautiful goal I just scored right here, because Crazy Manimal is doing it again through the sky here and will again put Selah up with an early lead.
Yeah, 5X stick, Big Rat, it's not Ochu. Gonna really have their work cut out for him here and early. Early leads have just yielded pressure so far that is proven to be difficult to overcome.
We'll see if they can overcome it here as Selah again through the sky. Crazy Manimal looking to showcase some of that talent there and has a nice job carrying it into the corner. Looks for that pass play in front of the net, but it will be read and picked up here by Ridgefield. Only for a moment, and the moment's gone, though, because Crazy Manimal back through the sky. Once more,
wow.
The aerial prowess, the Manimal of finesse. Selah does it again.
A flying animal it was indeed. Crazy Manimal putting on an absolute clinic on how to perform it. Aerial acrobatics. Love it. Love it, love it. 2-0 as of right now. Gotta love it, even if you're not a Selah fan, right? Huge hat tip to, a 15-year-old probably could do that easily, which I couldn't with many years playing. So how awesome is that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's great to showcase the young Scholastic talent here. Ridgefield knocking at the net, and they had 2 good opportunities, but again, they come away with nothing there, and it's tough. Big Rat, who has had a lot of success, and again, another solid attempt, but Selah's defense has really stepped it up in these last 2 games.
Really have. A lot of this is boiling back to your point earlier about the best offense being simply a good defense, right? Like at these higher levels of Scholastic play, these balls aren't just going to hit wayward and nobody anticipated and just happen to go into a net, right? They're spreading the pitch here. Oh my goodness, the little dipper backwards. Nicely done. Double Autumn getting on the board for the first time, I believe, since game number 1. Yeah, that was mostly Crazy Manimal, and or no, they did score last game. Excuse me. Raijin plays. Raijin plays. Excuse me. That's really who I want to see here for the Selah squad to get some goals in, get some assists in, and get more participant within that offensive side of the pitch.
And already we see Double Autumn and Crazy Manimal looking to work together. They've had this passing plays pretty much on point. We do see Raijin now up in the mix, though, into the corner. Unfortunately, everybody kind of bumping together here as they look to pressure toward this Selah side. Crazy Manimal finds the stop, looking for the clear. The flick over the head here is, wow. What shot! Big Rat comes out of nowhere to pick the pocket and drop it on in. Ridgefield will find their first.
Where is my wallet? That's got to be what Crazy Manimal has been thinking after that absolute robbery. Fantastic stuff. Again, bro, hook or by crook, however you can get it. That is Ridgefield's mantra.
I mean, that was crazy, too, because that was 2 Ridgefield players that went up. It wasn't Big Rat who touched it first. It was another teammate that touched it, and then Big Rat immediately followed up. The fact that they were both going for it and still came away with that goal is absolutely nuts. But Selah is hungry, and they're already looking for this response on the other side.
That's a fantastic clear. This is not a full-on open net. Oh, but they can't really get any momentum onto this ball. And the last Ridgefield player there gets demoed, burning all the boost to get their last player back. Another shot attempted, but Raijin plays cannot really get, again, perpendicular to this ball and get a great direct shot onto it.
Well, they're only down by 2 as we hit the halfway point, and hopefully they can find a way to put another one on in before Selah does and look to get that a little bit closer to that equalizer, so to speak. But again, Selah has stepped it up in that defensive department, only allowing 1 goal so far in the last 2 games as we see Lil Snack looking to cut this off at midfield. Back across midfield we go. No boost left in the tank. Looks to be called off by Big Rat and will eventually collect that 100 at the mid.
They're trying to get over it. A fantastic clear from Double Autumn. You had to feel that 1-score difference coming in there and realize just how dangerous that is and what a predicament they do not want to put themselves in. Not that Selah's offense needs to sit on the laurels by any means, but a 2-score padding here is not a terrible thing to look at. Up 2-0 in the series. There's the 3rd one here as Double Autumn puts in their 2nd.
Yeah, and it might not be the final nail in the coffin, but it's certainly an additional one here for Selah. As unfortunately, we see Big Rat kind of up on that near post, and typically you want to rotate from the far post and then push out when you're making those rotations. But you know, we said it before, it's always easier said than done when you're sitting up here in the booth, and these young students certainly have more talent out here than I do, as we see another shot on target and another beautiful save here from Double Autumn.
Yeah, so Ridgefield's offense not out of the game quite yet. They are going to have to either slowly change or categorically change with about 45 seconds left. Their entire game plan here, said it before, say it again, loss of 1, loss of 3, loss of 10 is all the same here. You're going to have to throw the kitchen sink and everything else at this Selah High School squad. Just see what sticks.
We'll see if they can find something to stick here. They got a good opportunity, and the double tap from Big Rat says, I'm trying to bring it back, baby. Trudging through the trenches. They'll cut the lead in half, and now they've got 67 seconds to work with.
Fantastic stuff. The first angle, the original angle, was true. Gave it a little tip action just to make sure this was that score all the way in. 67 seconds, as you said, and the score difference gets back to 2. Now, an early goal here will be so much different from them having to play at 0-0s and just keep this ball aloft as well.
Ooh, I don't know. That was looking a bit dangerous. Ridgefield needs to find a way to get it out of their territory, and they eventually do here as well. Little Snack will meet him at the midfield, and back and forth we go. An opportunity to near open net as well, but it takes a funky bounce, and Ridgefield has 2 in the goal. They have a great opportunity for a counterattack here, but unfortunately, it does get knocked into the corner. Big Rat will be able to scoop it up. Just 35 left in this one.
Fantastic stop here from Double Autumn, but the follow-up play there almost centers this up. If this ball was moving a little bit slower, Ridgefield definitely would have gotten that open net. These players don't miss at that one. Oh my goodness. I was going to say these players don't miss at that one frequently. Big Rat. Hat trick! Only scores here for Ridgefield in this game, number 3, and 6 shots attempted, effectively doubling up their shots attempted just from one player from game number 2.
I mean, I'm a fan of Rocket League, so I wouldn't complain if we got to see at least another game, but Ridgefield only has 20 seconds here to find another one, and with Selah taking early possession here, these big booming clears often eating 5 to 7 seconds off the clock here as well. Ridgefield running out of time. They need to make something happen relatively soon.
Yes, they do. They don't want to have to deal with that volleyball-type situation and burning every boost they get just to get under this ball, nevertheless make a play. The spike down right there, and it's an absolute shutout, a sweep right here, excuse me, within the series. 3-0 here for the Selah Vikings, a very close one, a very, very close one in game number 3. I got to say, I mean, so game 2 ended up 1-4. The last goal came at literally like 0 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So it was 1-3 before then. Team was continuously trying all the way through here. Even a 2-score differential there, Hot Sauce, doesn't seem like accurate to describe this matchup. I know casters say it all the time here, but 4-5, 1-4, 3-4. This very, very easily could have gone to extra games, and it was not by mistake that most of them were only 1 score.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 games separated by only a goal that could have gone either way. So even though it is another 3-0 sweep here for Selah, much like in that preseason, it really doesn't do it justice. You'd have to go back and watch exactly how close this matchup was. But honestly, for both of these teams, they're going to go to 1-1 through week 2. So they both had a little bit of a mishap, and it's always good to get that out of the way early in the season as you look to kind of power forward. So I'm sure both of these teams will bounce back even better next week. But nonetheless, at least they brought an exciting series for us here today.
Very true. Very true. Some high-quality Rocket League is shown on the pitch here today from these Scholastic esports competitors. Absolutely love it. We got a little replay action for you guys. You can kind of relive the match you just watched. But before we go to that, I'd love to give a shout-out to some of the organizations that make competitions just this one possible. First and foremost is LANFest. Thanks to LANFest for building healthy communities through gaming. Now, a lot of this is Scholastic, a lot of it isn't. With over 20 chapters across the U.S. and 150 events per year, what can I say? They live and breathe esports. Go on over to LANFest.com and check out our Washington chapters, Inferna Land, and the Emerald City LANFest to find an event near you.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Certainly love LANFest and all the hard work they do. And it wouldn't be complete without Seattle-built PCs as well. So a huge thank you to Seattle-built PCs for their continued support over here at WSSEA. Seattle-built PCs are the custom PC builders trusted by the pros since 2020. And they've been crafting those incredible rigs for world-famous esport players and content creators and millions of fans alike all over the world here. So Seattle-built PC would love to work with you to create that perfect PC for your needs whenever you're ready. So if you're looking for a custom PC built by people who actually care, make sure you check out Seattle Built PCs at seattlebuilt.com.
Yeah, fantastic organization. Been with WSSEA for quite a while for a reason. Big shout out to production staff again. That's Connie, that's Taylor, that's Jaden. Appreciate y'all producing away, making our jobs as casters that much easier. With that, though, before our replays, we have reached my least favorite part of any broadcast, Hot Sauce. Of course, is the end. Join us again tomorrow for Valorant. Yes, Valorant. Wednesday, March 12th, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, am I correct to assume that you will be on that, Hot Sauce?
I am on that one tomorrow, so I'm excited to get back in, and I think the legend Dilo will be with me tomorrow as well. So always a fun time here at WSSEA regardless, but certainly always a pleasure working with you, Tugboat.
Always a pleasure, Hot Sauce. Appreciate y'all watching. We got some replays coming at you. We will catch you on the flip side.